They say the forest chooses its victims, but on the night the spirit came for Amara, it did not expect to be chosen instead. The elders of Umudara village had one rule. When the moon turns red, no one goes near the forest, not even the brave, not even the desperate, because the forest did not merely breathe, it watched, and sometimes it hunted. Amara was not afraid of the forest. Widowed at 27, with a 6-year-old son and no farmland of her own, fear had long stopped feeding her family. Hunger had taken its place. Her husband, Obina, had disappeared 3 years earlier. The villagers said he wandered too deep into the forbidden forest during a red moon. His body was never found, only his cutlass, bent, as though something had twisted it in anger. Since that day, Amara had learned something dangerous. When people fear something too much, they give it power, and she had no power left to give. The dry season had been cruel. Her small yam harvest failed. The palm oil she sold no longer fetched a good price. Her son, Chike, had begun asking questions she could not answer. "Mama, why don't we have meat like the others?" The forest, however, was full of game and medicinal herbs and rare mushrooms traders paid well for. It was forbidden, but so was starvation. The first sign came at dusk, a whisper, soft, carried by wind that did not touch the trees. "Amara." She turned. No one. The village path was empty, only dry dust and a fading orange sky. She shook her head. Grief plays tricks on widows. That night, she dreamt of Obina. He stood at the edge of the forest, his eyes hollow. "Do not come," he said, but his voice echoed like it came from underground. She woke with her heart racing. Outside, the forest was unusually silent. No crickets, no owls, just waiting. The next morning, Chike fainted while helping her carry water. That was when Amara decided, forbidden or not, she would enter the forest at dawn. Not during a red moon, not at night, at dawn, when spirits were weakest. That was what her grandmother used to say. She packed a small calabash, a rope, her husband's bent cutlass, and palm oil mixed with ash, protection mixture. She told no one, because fear spreads faster than fire in dry grass. The forest did not greet her kindly. It felt thicker than usual. The air was heavy. Birds flew away at her approach. She noticed something strange. No animal tracks, no insects, just stillness. Then she saw it. Fresh mushrooms, white, large, perfect, in a circle. A perfect circle. Her grandmother's voice echoed in her memory. Never step inside a perfect circle in the forest. It is an invitation or a trap. Amara did not step inside. She knelt outside it and whispered, "I did not come to challenge you. I came to feed my child." The wind shifted, cold, against her neck. Then laughter, low, dry like leaves crushing. "You speak boldly, widow." Amara did not turn around. If it is a spirit, never show your fear. That was rule 1. The temperature dropped. Mist curled around her ankles. From the corner of her eye, she saw it. Tall, too tall, its limbs elongated, its skin bark-like, its eyes glowing faint green. The forest spirit. It circled her slowly. "You come often, Amara." She swallowed. "I come because I must. You took mushrooms last season. I left kola nut in return." Silence. Then, "You speak as though we are equals." Amara finally turned to face it. "No, but I speak as one who has nothing left to lose." The spirit paused. That was unexpected. "You think I took your husband?" the spirit asked. "Did you?" The spirit's smile stretched too wide. "He entered during red moon." "So?" "He carried fear. Fear tastes sweet." Amara's heart pounded, but she did not move. "If you want me," she said calmly, "take me." The forest seemed to inhale, "But leave my son." The spirit leaned close. "I have something better. A test. 3 nights, 3 challenges. If she survives, the forest will grant her abundance. If she fails, her son belongs to the forest forever." The wind howled. The mushrooms inside the circle blackened instantly. Amara's palms trembled, but she lifted her chin. "When do we begin?" The first night arrived faster than Amara expected. The forest, once still, began to breathe in rhythm with her own heartbeat. Mist curled around her ankles like serpents. Every leaf shivered in anticipation. The spirit's voice, smooth and hollow, filled the air. "You will face your first challenge at the Cave of Echoing Truths. Only one question remains. Are you clever enough to survive?" Amara gripped the bent cutlass at her side. Her grandmother's voice echoed in her memory. "Fear is a trap. Cleverness is your shield." The forest guided her silently. Trees arched over her, forming a tunnel that twisted unnaturally. Shadows moved against the mist, some mimicking every step. At the entrance of the cave, the ground was littered with stones glowing faintly green. The spirit whispered from above, yet invisible. "Inside, every word you speak will be repeated, twisted against you. Speak carelessly, and it will become your prison." Amara nodded. Rule 2 remembered. Words have weight in the forest. Inside the cave, darkness swallowed her. Her lantern barely illuminated a few feet. The walls seemed alive, pulsating slowly as though the cave itself were breathing. Then came the first echo. "Amara, you are alone, alone, alone." Her heart skipped. The echoes repeated, each time adding whispers of doubt. "You cannot survive. You are weak, weak, weak." Amara paused. Slowly, she spoke aloud, soft but deliberate. "I am here. I am strong. I am clever." The cave stilled for a moment. The voice, now irritated, hissed, "You twist your own words. Clever, yes, but the second test awaits." From the shadows, a riddle took shape. "I can be stolen. I can be given. I can vanish if you neglect me. What am I?" Amara thought carefully. Fear and pride warred in her mind. A wrong answer would mean her son, lost. She remembered her grandmother's lessons. In the forest, what is unseen often guides what is seen. Finally, she answered, "Trust." The cave shuddered. Echoes repeated, but this time they aligned. "Trust, yes, trust. Clever woman." The floor beneath her shifted, revealing a hidden path forward. The next chamber was a reflection of her own fears, spectral visions of her dead husband, Obina, accusing her of abandonment. Shadows whispered, "You left him, now we leave you." Amara's hands trembled, but she kept her voice calm. "I have loved him and I honor him. You are illusions, nothing more." With each confident declaration, the spectres shrank until the room was empty save for her lantern's glow. The spirit's voice echoed, "Clever, brave, you survived this night, but cleverness alone is not enough." The final test of the night was subtle. The spirit sent a gust of wind carrying seeds and leaves. They swirled around Amara, forming shapes and images, a full harvest, Chike smiling, the village prosperous. The spirit whispered, "These are the fruits you seek, but only the cleverest hearts may claim them without losing what they love." Amara smiled. She understood. The forest did not simply test strength, it tested wit, courage, and moral clarity. As the first rays of the sun pierced the cave, the mist dissipated. The forest was silent again. Amara stepped out, exhausted but alive. She had survived night 1. The spirit lingered in the shadows, a faint smile. Tomorrow, another challenge awaits. Amara returned home, not with mushrooms nor herbs, but with the knowledge that she could outwit what others feared. The second night was colder. The wind carried the scent of wet earth, the sound of distant water. The spirit's voice echoed, "Tonight, Amara, you face the river of reflection. Only truth will guide you. Lies, hesitation, and the current will claim what you hold dear." Amara's heart clenched at the mention of her son. The river appeared as if summoned by moonlight. Its surface was glassy, showing not just her reflection, but every fear, doubt, and regret she had ever carried. "Step forward," the spirit whispered, "but beware, the river does not forgive." Amara looked down. In her reflection, she saw not herself, but Obinna, Chike, and the villagers she feared failing. Her mistakes multiplied like ripples, mocking her. She took a deep breath and stepped forward. The water, cold and unwelcoming, rose to her knees. "Tell me, Amara," the spirit murmured, voice like the river itself. "Why do you seek to survive?" The temptation was to lie. For wealth, for safety, for life. But lies would sink her. She whispered instead, "To protect my son, to honor my husband, to do what is right." The river shimmered, revealing a path of stepping stones, some visible, some invisible. Each step required trust in her own heart and courage to continue, despite uncertainty. The spirit murmured mockingly with each misstep, yet Amara persisted. By dawn, she reached the far bank. "Cleverness and honesty, hand in hand," the spirit said. "You survived this night too." The third night arrived, and with it, the most dangerous challenge. Amara was led to a clearing. Moonlight illuminated hundreds of mushrooms, each glowing faintly, some perfectly white, some blackened. The spirit's challenge was simple yet deadly. Choose the mushrooms that feed your family. One mistake and you lose all. She recalled the first night's perfect circle. Knowledge and observation were key. The mushrooms whispered, mimicking her grandmother's voice. "Take me, take me." Amara closed her eyes. Observe, do not act hastily. She noticed tiny marks in the soil, the faint scent differences. Carefully, methodically, she selected the edible ones. Then the spirit materialized fully, towering above her. "You have survived all 3 nights, clever Amara. Now, claim your reward." Amara knelt and whispered an offering, ash mixed with palm oil onto the ground and the mushrooms. "I offer respect for all you guard and care for my family. May we live in peace." The spirit paused, and for the first time it did not move, did not speak. Then it smiled, a faint, almost human smile, and dissipated into mist. The forest was silent, serene. Amara gathered the mushrooms and herbs. She felt the subtle gift of abundance. Game tracks appeared nearby, the soil richer than before. She had survived through wit, observation, and moral integrity. Amara returned to the village at dawn. Chike ran to her, laughter in his eyes. The villagers watched, fearful and amazed, as she carried herbs, mushrooms, and the promise of plenty. "The forest," she said quietly, "is not merely a place of fear. It is a place of respect, and clever hearts are its true masters." Obinna's memory lingered in her mind, a silent blessing. The forest spirit was gone, but its lesson remained. Fear is a tool for the weak. Wisdom and courage are weapons for the clever. Fear cannot be allowed to dictate survival. Cleverness combined with morality outwits even the most powerful forces. Respect for the unseen world brings protection and abundance. After it all, Amara went back to her son and embraced him, standing tall amidst the whispers of a forest that now watched in quiet acknowledgement. If you enjoyed watching this story, click the next story. Do not forget to leave a comment, share, subscribe, and come back every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays by 7 p.m. West African time for more stories.